Hi guys, and welcome to the Portsmouth vs Sunderland match review. And as you can tell again by the smile on my face, we've made it 4 wins from 4 in the opening 4 games of the season. But unfortunately, we did concede late on in this one, which lost us our clean sheet streak. But at the end of the day, 4 wins from 4, not going to complain. Absolutely outstanding yet again. And I say outstanding, but to be fair, the first half, I was actually looking at it and I was thinking to myself, this might be the worst we've played so far out of the opening few games. And that's not to say we were poor. It was just because the level was so high and the standard has now been set so high that, as I say, at the end of that first half, I thought, we don't look fantastic here, or at least we weren't anywhere near the levels of what we've seen so far this season. And we're still winning by 1-0, albeit by a, quite frankly, hilarious own goal. But we will get into the game, of course. So we were away from home, Fratton Park. I thought to myself, it's a bit of a bogey team anyway, particularly at Fratton Park. We don't often win there, particularly when we've played there in recent years, or over the years anyway. Always a difficult place, and I thought it could have been a bit of a banana skin there. But we start off with Patterson in goal. Alessi, of course, he's been ruled out for what looks to be around 12 weeks, which is a massive shame because I don't know whether you've seen on Twitter or my social medias, I was saying that, you know, had Adji not been injured, he would have been 100% keeping Ballard out of the starting 11, and Ballard is, in my opinion, our best centre-back, and that is just how good Alessi has been so far this season. But Ballard does come back, so at least we've got a great replacement. So Ballard come back into the fray. He partners with Luke O'Nien. O'Nien sat on the left of the back two, the middle partnership of the back four in the defence. So you had Hume on one side, Sirkin on the other. Then in the middle you had Job, you had Alan Brown, and you had Rigg as well. And then on one side you had Paddy Roberts, left hand side. You had Mundell, and then Mayenda up top. And we did have Poveda and Isidore on the bench as well to a couple of the new signings. I know that yesterday we made a bunch of signings last night, as I did allude to in the previous video. I've just been busy. I haven't been basically at home. I've been away for the day and night yesterday. So yeah, I'm very aware of all the signings that have been made. And yes, we did make a handful of them yesterday. But getting into the game, we started off, I felt like the first 15-20 minutes, I felt like we were nowhere near at the level in which we have been previously in terms of the press. What we've seen in recent weeks with our press, everyone has done it as a unit and as a team, and I felt like there was a lot of individual presses, if that makes sense. So, for example, if they had the ball right back, we'd almost have a triangle of players that would squeeze and force them into errors. We didn't see that. It just felt like a bunch of individuals. One would run, everyone would stay back, then they'd tuck back in, then one would run again, and it just wasn't really working, and the intensity levels weren't there for me, and I'm sure Reggie would have said the same thing to them at half-time or at some point throughout that first half. But no one was really making any chances though. In fairness, we were turning over possession very easily. It was a very cagey game where there was a lot of loose balls. We were struggling to string a couple of passes together and we weren't really creating much. And neither were they, to be fair. They were playing a lot of nice triangles as we usually associate with our football. However, they're doing it in around half and weren't really progressing up the pitch too much. Patterson wasn't tested, but then eventually, as the first half wore on, we started to get a little bit, but sort of half chances here and there. Paddy Roberts was absolutely tearing it up on that right hand side as he usually does, cutting inside, a few blocked shots, some crosses across goal that were just missing out on players, or a bit of a scramble in the box, but then nothing was really falling for us. But then sometimes with games like this, you need a bit of luck. You need rub of the green. And that's exactly what we got towards the back end of that first half. And like I said, it was a very comical own goal. So brilliant work down the right-hand side. And the ball is pulled back for Mayenda, who strikes it straight at the keeper. And then he parries it into the danger zone. But luckily for him, it's to a Pompey defender. But this Pompey defender tried to clear it away. And he just leathered it against his own player, basically right in his stomach or / chest. And it goes into the back of the net. So as I say, you need rub of the green. You need a bit of luck sometimes. And that's exactly what we got. So we went into half-time. A goal to the good. Now, second half came out and we were miles better. The press was back. Everyone looked outstanding. Everyone knew the roles. The passing was a lot more clean. We were harder in the challenges. Like I say, the pressing was a lot more intense and aggressive. Job, and I think a lot of people, because when they saw Brown on the team sheet, and because they know that he is the more experienced head in there, they almost immediately assume that he's going to take the role of sort of CDM, or as a defensive midfielder, or at least in a sitting role. That isn't really him. Like I've said before, he is a box-to-box midfielder, and he's so much better in a more forward role, at least going forward. He isn't really a sitter. So Job played that role more than anything. If you watch the press, it was Rigg and it was Brown who was up with the front line, with the press, and it was Job that was sitting, and he did a cracking job, particularly in that second half. As I say, there was a couple of great challenges that he was flying himself into, really good in tight areas and twisting and turning, and then finding and playing the passes correctly and choosing the right passes as well. And it was only a matter of time, because we were starting to knock on the door, and as I say, they didn't test us at all. A couple of counter-attacks, but then it would be a great challenge by Hume or O'Nien, Ballard, circling anyone across the back, or Job a track back, and we just weren't allowing them anything at all. I can't remember anything going at Patterson at all, but yeah, anyway, as I was going to say, the second goal did come, and this one was a little bit of a, not comical, but it wasn't the tidiest of goals, but a goal is a goal. We managed to work it against the byline very well, puts it across goal, it falls to Mayenda about 6 yards out. He didn't anticipate the ball to come through to him, because you'd think that he should have shot first time. He's took a touch 6 yards out for some reason, and it's a horrible touch, and it gets away from him, so he's trying to stretch out to try and poke it home. He does manage to get that touch on it, but then just as it's trickling over the line, or nearly about to trickle over the line, Alan Brown, who's on the floor as well, who's been pulled down by a Pompey defender, he swings a leg at it, just about scrapes the ball, puts it over the line. So Mayenda's celebrating with the fans, but it was absolutely Alan Brown's goal. And then we went and got a third as well on the counter-attack. Mayenda did very, very well. It's particularly in the second half. His pressing anyway was good, but he was, I think once that goal went in, what he thought was his, he really had to take his tail up there, and he was really getting at them. Every time he got the ball, he was driving at them, and I'd give him a lot of credit for that. But maybe a few times his decision-making, or it was a bit delayed in the pass, where he might break forward and he had options, and he would take that sort of 2-3 touches too many, but other than that, it was very, very good. But as I say, on the counter-attack, tails up, he's driving at them and driving at them and driving at them, and eventually finds Mundle coming on the left-hand side, and he's absolutely smashed it into the near corner, beats the keeper, probably could have done a little bit better, but 3-0, and we're running away with it at this point. We're looking very, very good. And then we saw the debuts for Poveda, Isidore as well. Isidore looked decent, he looked like a bit of a handful on that left-hand side, because we kept Mayenda on. Isidore on the left hand side, a couple of good little touches here. Then whenever he did lose out, a couple of good, really aggressive challenges that I like to see. Poveda looked a little bit tricky as well. But yeah, the game was kind of fading out a little bit without any huge chances being made. But then right towards the back end of the game, it's such a shame, because as I said, Patterson weren't really tested. We've defended really, really well. But they get the ball down the right hand side, Portsmouth, put it across goal, and Luke O'Nien is under no real pressure. But you can tell that, I don't know where it's sort of no man's land. He knows he needs to get a touch on it, but he just nodded it into the back of his own net. 3-1, so I'm gutted a little bit, despite winning 4 from 4. I'm a little bit gutted that we have lost a clean sheet streak, but a win is a win. We're top of the league still, and I've seen so many people, rightly so, like we're talking about transfers, people talking about, we need this proven striker, that it's all piss poor, this is shit, this is that. Are they watching what's on the pitch? Do you know what I mean? It can't be that bad. I agree. I would preferably like to see us with a proven natural striker there. But I feel like we've recruited well. I'll probably give it a sort of 6.5 out of 10. Because we need to remember, we've tied up, Joe Bellingham, Ballard, Rigg, and then all the players we brought in with Brown, which I think is a great addition. Amongst many others as well. There was a good handful of them yesterday. Samid is one of them I spoke about in a previous video. I think he's a cracking player for this league anyway. We've got on loan from Lons. And amongst others, we've got that young striker as well to come in, who apparently is a very exciting prospect. And I know a lot of people are sick of youth and prospects, but sometimes they come off, and that's exactly what's been happening this season so far. But that's everything, guys. Let me know who your man of the match was. My man of the match, Chris Rigg. Chris Rigg was, it could have been Brown, it could have been a lot of those players, but Chris Rigg for me is an absolute phenomenon. It is absolutely outstanding. He is a literal child who is absolutely tearing up. He just doesn't look an inch out of place. How the maturity on and off the ball with that lad is far beyond his years. Quick, tenacious, driving forward. He never ducks out of a challenge, not afraid to try and bring the ball forward and carry it forward. And his play when he's pinging balls left and right, it's just a beautiful sight, essentially. And I just think that if we don't go up this year, he could go and for a lot of money as well. I mean a lot of money, because I can see him playing for England at some point. I think he's that good. But yeah, he's my man of the match. Maybe overdid it a little bit, but I love Chris Rigg. He's absolutely incredible. But who was your man of the match? And if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you're buzzing that Sunderland are top of the league, and we're not going to go too far with it, but we're going up. But no, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. Stay jammy.